Hi, this is Christelle Martinette, and I'm here. This is just a short video as an introduction to my new style, my new podcast. This is an introduction to my October readings, because many of you were of two minds asking me, well, we like to see the video because we like to see the cards. And those of you who wrote in saying that the podcast, you preferred the podcast, said, well, it really makes me listen more carefully. And I have to say, I too am of two minds, because I do like to show the cards. I really do. But I can't deny that I really have a strong sense of connection when I turn off the video and when I use my voice and just listen. So in this intro, well, first of all, let me show you this. I'm doing this because a colleague of mine, well, a friend of mine said, oh, that warlock, that marionette, it just is the creepiest thing, but it's harmless. It's a true marionette. And I just wanted to show it to you so you don't get freaked out by it. This was, it's a handmade marionette, and I got this at the airport. You know how you're waiting on to board, and right next into the corner there was a shop that had all handmade marionettes, and it was so cute. Look at that hat. Look at that hat. So cute, so cute. And so, I just brought it here to make you see with me, so just relax. Now, what I'm going to do in this video is that I'm going to show you the deck of cards that I'll be using. So when I call on you and ask you to, even though I do them in a pre-recorded way, I'm going to channel and listen to the energies that I get from each individual sign. So let me first tell you that I'll be using the runes. I'll be starting with the runes casting. And I'll be using these tiger eyes runes because you can see them. The etching is fairly clear, and for me to see, when I usually read, it's usually dark, and so I like to be able to see them. And I'll be using those first. You'll hear them in the podcast. Then I have three different decks to use. The first is the Voodoo Tarot deck that I've used before. You've known that. This is the 14th Major Arcana, we can call that. Thibonage, the 20th Major Arcana, the Ancestors, just to give you a few. 0, the World Egg, and so on. Then we have a Santeria 2 card, Olofi, just to give you a few of the cards, just to give you an idea, but you know these more than the other two decks. And the next deck is the Tarot of Muja, de la Muja, who is an artist. And just to give you an idea of what they look like, this is the 11th card. What could that be? Justice. You can see that, maybe the 11th Major Arcana, that's Justice. This is who do we have here? The Emperor. Oops, the Emperor. Here we have the Hermit. Lovely cards, lovely cards. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Let me put these away and show you another deck, which is the Tarot of Sexual Magic. And I've used this twice, 2 other times. This is the 9 of Cups. This is the version of the 9 of Cups. Whoa, the foot of my marionette has fallen. This is the High Priestess. High Priestess. This is the Magician. Let me see if I could get it better. Oh, the closer, the farther away I get it from the light, there it is, the better it is. And this is our Knight of Swords. Get a load of that, our Knight of Swords. There you are. Okay, so, but another reason why I wanted to give an introduction is that I wanted to thank a colleague, a fellow reader, for having sent me a person to work with. Thank you, Lou, Louisiana Lou. Why am I thanking her? The main reason is that it gave me the opportunity to fine-tune what I was doing. It was a particular case, and it made me able to speak about it and to give you, my experience with this person and to tell you how I work. So I thought it would clarify a lot of things. So in short, the person was looking for initially a black witch or a warlock, someone who could fight fire with fire in terms of black magic. Now, well, this is an expression in English, fight fire with fire, get the same intensity, because he felt that he was an object of black magic. Now, the person was looking for that, but then he came to me and I asked him to tell me what the story was about. And I was taking notes, and he told me that for decades he has been targeted with black magic. And I wanted, in some way, I invited him for a consultation, okay, to understand. And he prefaced the introduction of this whole story with a series of admonishments, of warnings, telling me that he had been to many other people before me, and none of them wanted to work with him because each one individually had suffered some kind of flash of negative energy towards them directly. One was threatened, her life was threatened, another fell ill with a serious illness for an extremely long time. And I let him talk. Like I said, I took notes, I asked my questions, and then I explained to him how I worked. Now, what I will explain to you is my form of white magic. Okay, we could call it white magic, but I just want to say that we can change the words around. It's all the same, just like any field, physics, linguistics. People have, and groups of people that work together have different ways of calling things, and in different countries they call the same phenomenon with another lexical item, all right? So, but what I want to say is that this is a form of white magic. It's a service that I provide and that I've listed on my website. First and foremost, I told him my diagnosis, that what he was experiencing was only one of many, far many other more serious blocks and restrictions that could be ailing him. And I started asking him a number of questions, but then I hit him with the fundamental question. What is your intention? What do you want to achieve by coming to me? And what he said was this: I want two things. One, I want to unmask the largest pedophile ring in the Northern Hemisphere. And two, I want to be able to receive adequate medical care, because in his country, in Ireland, he was negated that for several different reasons. Okay, I won't go into the political side to it now. And with that, having heard that, with those objectives, it put me in a position of being able to then do my magic, eliminating any negative influences on him, stopping him from achieving those goals. How? I was able to cut bonds, contracts, curses, and remove curses and vows, spells, anything, you name it, that were affecting him directly. The list is endless. Affecting him directly, and as a consequence, it would block the negative energy affecting him, and it would not target but contain those people, he listed names, first and last names, that were manipulating him throughout the decades. These people represent members of the clergy, solicitors, barristers, and politicians in that country. Now, one important thing is that there was no fear. I never, ever operate with fear. If I have to be fearful, I just say no. It's not a moment when I can work. The process was reversed, is reversed, because their initial energetic dealings and workings, or if we want to call it magic, were halted But we had, of course, this person who was in a wheelchair, who was dying, and ultimately was powerless, disempowered completely. And one thing then leads to another, and you get the press, you get someone to help you out, physicians to, okay, so it's a series of things that then change. Now, this is just to give you an idea of what how I work. Fundamental is not, and this is a suggestion for all other readers, all other energy workers, light workers, never work if you are fearful. And there's something that when someone comes to me, and I have seen a lot of different cases, okay? When I decide if I can work with you, and this is determined by a series of parameters linked to the nature of your soul, I never have to decide if I'm conditioned by fear or any other, or because it will create repercussions. So thank you for giving me this opportunity to say that. And thanks again, Lou. I appreciate that. Now off to the readings. Bye-bye.
Hello, Libra. This is Christelle Martinette again, and I have here the runes as promised. Let's see what is in store for you for the month of October. We have this new moon coming up that kicks off the month, so let's see what it brings to you. Okay, now let me take a look here. Oops. Oh, now okay, now it seems that you get the feeling this is your birthday period. Okay, and often many of you may be thinking about what is going on in your life. You know, the typical. You know, where am I going? What am I doing? But what am I seeing? I'm seeing here that you yourself feel, no matter how much abundance you have in your life, you yourself feel that you need something more. You need something more. There's something, because you're sensing a bit of insecurity. And I find that that's going to be successful. And why it's going to be successful is, first of all, you need it because your very makeup depends on it, it seems. Your very makeup depends on it. It seems that you're blind in one eye. Let's put it that way as a metaphor I'll be using. You're blind in one eye concerning your successes and your failures. Concerning your successes and your failures. And it's you fail to see that it's just one process in a series of events that will take time to develop. Now, the timing factor is the most important thing, because when you have partial vision, and I'm continuing this metaphor, Libra, when you have partial vision, you tend to want to grope onto, grasp something that will be material and will help you so that you can find something to say for yourself, something that will speak to you about your success. But there's something that you're not taking into consideration, something that you will be neglecting, something that will not be, you will not know, you don't know. And I'm here to tell you, Libra, the runes are saying to me and to you that try to find the key, the ultimate key to your feeling success. The ultimate key is an exchange of services. You give something, you take back something, even if there's no monetary exchange. It seems as if the period, the month of October, is asking you to try to operate with a different value system, and that alone will change the nature of your stress. But not only, it also tells you that you should spend less time in verbalizing your needs, your wants, your desires, and more time in understanding that the nature of change and the nature of development starts first and foremost in your mind. So when you can conceive of it, it's yours. That's what the runes are saying. When you can start to conceive of a change and you visualize it and you accompany it and you see yourself giving your services in exchange for something else that you need, that begins a change in perspective and a change in your value system. Revisit your value systems. Also here, crowning the runes casting is Awats, which together, it's a whole line, it's in line with Sohilo, Awats, Diag, and Iwats. They're stressing, there are 3 different conversations. There's a central conversation and 2 side conversations that are just as important. But the main theme here is that success in your journey will be yours, will come about the moment that you stop and adopt a system of exchange. Exchange, I can even give you an example in emotional terms or love relationships. You go and you want to talk to a woman that you've met or a man that you've met that you are attracted to, but this time around, you approach them with the idea of friendship, not even asking for their friendship, but you approach them by suggesting that perhaps you can do something for them. Oh, I saw that your the window pane of your shop is dented or is broken. I have a cousin who works with glass. Is there something we could help you with? And not expecting money in return. Okay, and not looking at this, if this approach does come to you, don't think of it as being negative or don't fear it. Jump at the chance of offering them something that you sell in exchange, something that would you buy at a certain price and they would value at a different, considering a different perspective of values that they may have. Now, so this is for the month of October. What I'd like you to do now is think and concentrate on the 3 decks of runes that I have, the 3 decks of tarot that I have. The Muha Tarot, the New Orleans Voodoo Tarot, and the Sexual Magic Tarot. And I'll choose the one that I hear you selecting. I hear the sexual magic first, then the voodoo. So let's take that in hand and start mixing. And then I'll add with the other deck. Oh, happy birthday, by the way. Those of you who will be having their birthday in October, or this tail end of September. Okay, let's see. Wow. Well, let me pull the other cards and then I'll read them as a whole. The Voodoo Tarot. I pulled 4 sexual magic cards along one side of the runes casting, and let's see what I will do here. Okay. All right. A lot of fire energy here with the Sexual Magic Tarot. And, you know, it's an interesting type of fire. It's passion, but it's passion and interaction, but there is a sense of playfulness as well. Now, there is the Four of Cups here as well. There are three passion cards, three wand cards, but there is also the Four of Cups, and the Four of Cups here gives you moment. There's a pause. There's you step back from that passion, and this is when you decide that something's wrong because this is not working. I have up until now been working in a certain mode, in a certain fashion, but it's not giving me the desired results, not as I would like. Let me step back. And the Voodoo Tarot are singing a different song. They're singing a song that tells you you can see yourself best in the reflection, in your reflection through how others see you. And this is right next to Diag, the magic mirror, Diag and Awats. It means that the tension that occurs when you, well, the magic mirror, the mirror does have a semblance to a computer screen. And once you remove yourself from that smoke screen, that sorry about that, the computer screen, and you get behind and face to face with people, you're both facing fears in terms of how you interact, and at the same time you're testing, you're pushing the envelope, that expression, you're testing your limits in terms of how far you could go and still achieve desired results, and moving away from mainstream operating. What's also interesting here is that there is a definite time frame that you're interested in. You are moved to get it done now. There's this beating, this tum-tum, tum-tum that you want to do. It's as if you're entering a mode that's completely different. It's not the Twilight Zone. It's a mode where you want to shut yourself from the world, shut yourself off from the world. But try to not isolate yourself. That's what you want to do. You want to remove yourself from the world without isolating yourself, and try to delve into that mode that you are not usually used to adopting, the mode of acting animalistic, having that, you know, those lower, the gut reactions, those sensations that you feel in the pit of your stomach. You want to now use those, that gut feeling that you have, and ride the musical waves of desire, but at a different beat of a drum, different from the past. And you, it's quite, I'm getting excited, you could tell from my voice. It's quite interesting here to see that the nature of movements, the nature of your energy, and the nature of how you go about getting things now, whether it be with people, through companies, through groups, or otherwise, is something, is this, and I'll give you an example. You first make let's say that you want to test a new product on a market, and instead of using the internet, sending out pictures, giving them away at the corner stands, or putting them in magazines so people could smell your new perfume or whatever, what you do, and what you really want to do, is get your hands in it yourself. Go on, hit the streets yourself. Hand out samples of this new product, and really look people in the eyes to see what their reactions are of you accosting them, of you interacting with them on a personal level. Hand it, put it in their hand. Try this. Let me know if you like it, and you give them your card. Go to a mall and just stand there and say, try this new scent and let me know if you like it. Give me your reaction. And just asking people to help you do some of the research, marketing research. And but you don't want others to do it all. You want to feel the sensation of actually going in, feeling them, their hands, and giving it to them, putting it right into their hands. Another sensation that you will have. You'll be playing a lot with animals. You'll be going to the zoo. You'll be listening to the birds. You're going to enter much more willingly. You're going to get smiles out of being near animals. Going, like I said, to the zoo, going to see the neighbor's dog if you don't have one, surrounding yourself, or going to get a dog, or something to do with animals that will ground you more. This is going to become more important for you. And all in all, it seems that the key word here is to start from the ground roots, get back to basics, Libra. It seems that it's a time in October where you're going to try a completely different approach with things, both in relations and on the job and in your livelihood. You're going to use a different tactic to receive an objective, to reach an objective. Now, in terms of your success, the greater the tension that you feel, tension, and I can use different words for that, nervousness, anxiety, a little bit of fear because you're not sure about the tactic, this new style of operating. The greater that sense of tension, the more likely it is bound to give you cause for celebration. The greater the celebration. There's also here, however, a sort of transversal energy that has to do, on the one hand, with being one-to-one with someone and reasoning on a one-to-one basis with someone. But on the other hand, it divides, your time is divided between being on a one-to-one basis with people on the corner, giving them out your perfume samples and asking them to reciprocate by writing you, give me an email and telling you how you like it. And on the other, getting down to a lower, sitting in the grass, petting those animals, talking to the birds, chip, chop, chop. It's going back and trying to find a better style of living that suits you best in this frame of time, because you feel overall dissatisfaction. And like I said at the beginning of the reading, it's not that you're lacking abundance. This is not the case. It's a sensation that you have that something is just not right. You're not doing something to the best of your abilities. Now, again, those are the two-sided images, the transversal way of operating, but couching it all, and then the sound that I'm hearing is the beat of this ongoing drum, that it's moving you in a sort of harmonic fashion toward something completely different for you, something you would never do. Something you would never do. You would never, those of you who are lurkers behind computers and go into websites to meet people, no, you decide, I'm going to hit the local pub and I'm going to smile at men or women and I'm going to see what the reaction is today. So this runs the gamut of livelihood on the one hand and interpersonal relations on the other. And for everyone it will be different. Libra, I hope this was of help to you in some way. Namaste. Follow me on Twitter. You should have my Twitter name on the video. And I hope to be able to see you live and answer your questions in Periscope. Periscope will, if you're following me, Periscope will give you heads up when I'm live. Libra, it was a pleasure for me to read with you. Happy birthday again, and until we read together again, bye-bye.